Hey people, it's me, 3 here, and welcome back to another video. And we're doing another Apex Legends video again, but this time we're going to be going over leaked legends in Apex Legends. Just a little heads up, this contains leaks for future Apex Legends content, so if you're not comfortable with seeing this as of now, I advise you that you do not need to watch the video. So with that out of the way, let's get on with it. So let's first start off with Blisk and Ashe. Are they coming to Apex anytime soon, or are they coming at all? So, if you don't know, Blisk and Ashe are two characters from Titanfall 2 that have made an appearance in the lore a few times now. They've also confirmed to have been future legends based on insider leaks of a character select screen. Blisk was originally thought to have come on Season 8, but instead we got Fuse. Why could this been? So, here's some speculation. Blisk is probably still underdeveloped as a playable character, and Respawn is still testing his abilities and trying to make him work. When the leaked pictures of the character's select screen were taken, Blisk did not have a colored background in his icon, and he had his old Titanfall 2 model. This could probably hint that he was still being worked on. Things could have definitely changed over time, and seeing all the pictures seems to be old. He might be a more playable spot now, and he might be ready to release in Season 9, so... Here's the leaked character model. So yeah, it's his old Titanfall 2 model. So the next speculation I have is that Blisk could be being used as a decoy until a later season, or he might not be coming at all. This could be, but what contradicts this is that Blisk has abilities in the game files, and he was on an old leaked dev sheet, along with the leaked character select screens, which shows that the devs are testing him in game. I'm pretty sure Blisk will come into the game, just not anytime soon, so... Now here are Blisk's leaked abilities, so his passive is interrogation. Executing an enemy will reveal the location of their allies for 10 seconds. Tactical throwing knife deals 20 damage and marks the target. Killing a marked target rewards double the credits. Ultimate payday squad kills and award credits. Spend credits on powerful supplies. So it seems like his abilities might have something to do with crafting, which is currently in game. Since you get credits from this and you gotta have credits to craft items. And he seems like a pretty aggressive legend and a little difficult to use. That's at least from my perspective. So now let's talk about Ashe. So Ashe has been a character a lot of people have wanted to come into the game, and luckily she is a leaked legend that is supposed to come into the game at some point, but it doesn't seem like she'll be coming anytime soon. On the character select screen, she was supposed to be the legend to come after Blisk, so Season 9. There's also a theory that I support that Blisk and Ashe would come into the game together for a double legend release. So there's a little speculation on that. Season 9 has been said to be a potentially really good season, said by one of the developers in an IGN interview, and that it will have a lot of things we didn't expect. What if one of those things we don't expect is a double legend release with two characters from Titanfall 2 that people really wanted in the game? Could be, but seeing how the Order of Legends seems way different now, I wouldn't expect it unless if it happens in the final season of Apex Legends. So it actually would make sense for Blisk and Ashe to release together in game because they're both Apex Predators in Titanfall 2 and they're friends. And both also have a pretty strong presence in the lore, so let's try to get into Ashe's abilities. So, Ashe doesn't have any known abilities, but there was an animation found for one of what we think are her abilities, and it's called a Bolo Sword. So, the animation was her using a sword, and I think this ability could be her ultimate. We don't really know her exact abilities yet, so we can only speculate, but I have a good idea of what her abilities are. So let me go over Titanfall Assault. So Titanfall Assault was an old Clash of Clans-like version of Titanfall, which later got shut down about a year later after its release, I'm pretty sure. I don't know exactly why it shut down, but may it rest in peace. So in the game, Ashe was a playable character, and she actually had an ability which was a vortex shield, like Ion's. Ion is a Titan from Titanfall 2. She would activate the shield, which would block incoming shots, and she could use energy to fire right back at the enemy. I'm positive that this would be her tactical ability. So now I'd like to talk about another leaked legend who I think might actually be a placeholder for Ashe based on the abilities they have. So, Jericho. Jericho was a leaked legend that was leaked a long time ago, and they seem to have abilities that could be very similar to what Ashe's kit could be. So let's go over Jericho's abilities. The passive is called Ballistic Shield Protection. Your Ballistic Shield protects your back when you're not actively using it. Tactical Ballistic Shield, a full body shield that protects you from incoming fire. Ultimate Shield Breaker Javelins, throw 2 electrically charged javelins that burn through enemy body shields. So the tactical fits almost exactly like Ashe's Vortex Shield, and the ultimate javelins work kind of like a sword. Well, an arc sword. So in Titanfall 2, Ashe's Titan was a Ronin Titan, and Ronin has a sword ability that is electrically charged just like javelins. And it could ease in arc energy, which is pretty much what the sword has, can easily tear through shields, and the javelins have that kind of arc, like, thing to them where they can burn through shields easily. So that's what makes me think that Jericho's abilities are a placeholder for Ashe. They would have changed over time, definitely. So now we're going to go into a little concept I have for what I think Ashe's abilities will be. And keep in mind, this is just a concept. These aren't her actual abilities. So passive, second chance. You have an extra health bar that can regenerate after a short period of time after taking damage. So basically, go and take damage, you pull out of a fight, and you have a little health bar that regenerates over a little bit of time. So yeah. Tactical Ion Shield. Hold up a vortex shield that can protect you from incoming damage. You can fire back absorbed shots by turning the shield into a bolt of energy. Ultimate Charged Bolo Sword. Switching to melee will equip an electrically charged Bolo Sword that can tear through enemy shields and health. The sword has health of its own, so use it wisely. So here is Ashe's leaked character model. And it's her Titanfall 2 model, so that can mean she was still going through development at the time. Things could have changed now, but I don't think she'll come until a later season. So now let's go over who I think will be the next legend, and that is Pariah. So it has been a long time since we've gotten a Recon Legend in Apex Legends. Last time we got a Recon Legend was in Season 3 with Crypto. And so we should be getting a Recon Legend next, right? So Blisky's coming next season? Well, he could since he's a Recon Legend. I wouldn't be surprised. But we seem to be going in a newer order of Legends. And of course, I don't think Blisk will be coming anytime soon. So let's look at the bottom Legends of this old character selection that was leaked. The first one to be leaked. So got the bottom here. You got Horizon right here, who came in Season 7. Fuse, who just came to Season 8. And then right after him, you have Pariah, who I positively Season 9 Legend, seeing how there is a little pattern right here. So yeah. Now let's go over Pariah. So, in case you didn't know, Pariah is the new name for the Leaked Legend Firebug, but I don't think that Pariah was ever Firebug, because this doesn't look like the name was Firebug. I think that was Pariah. So yeah, I think the name was changed. Yeah. So Firebug used to be an old legend named Prophet. So Prophet does have abilities, so we're going to go over what the abilities are. So passive is called Sniper Training. You have increased accuracy while ADS, and you start the game off with a scope. I find that really interesting. Tactical Spotter Sight. Scan the environment for enemies and gather information on targets found. Ultimate Triple Tap. Equip a silenced sniper rifle with 3 shots. So I'm pretty sure the passive was already teased in previous game modes where we would land in with a Mozambique that has a hollow sight scope attached to it from the beginning. It does fit the description of the ability kind of well, except for the fact that in those game modes we didn't have increased ADS accuracy. And I would really find it cool if the scope that you started off with was like an exclusive scope to the legend, like maybe like a variable digi threat that has like a unique shape to it. I think that would be really cool. The tactical seems really similar to Bloodhounds, but from what was said, it should be able to pick up on items that the enemies have, like such as body shields, helmets, etc. Maybe what legend they are. And I hope it turns out to be a little more unique. Like, I hope Bloodhounds is just a front scan. I would probably want this one to be like a 360 scan. Or maybe one thing I would really find cool is if it was like binoculars, but with like a variable zoom. And like you hover over enemies with crosshair, you would see like what legend they were, what they have equipped. So the ultimate, I'm honestly not a fan of. I think you should have reserve ammo, so it's more worth it to use it. Maybe give like 15 to 18 shots in reserve and keep its mag capacity at 3, because I just feel like if you have only 3 shots, that just is... I don't really like that, because it really puts a high skill ceiling, to be honest. And depending on how this sniper functions, like if it's really, really precise, I don't think it would be worth using that. So yeah, I hope it has reserve. So, of course, the ability could have changed. It could have like reserve now. But if it doesn't have a reserve yet, I really hope it does, because I feel like that would make it a really good ability. And of course, it would have to have a good damage profile. We should not be like the old Mozambique. So this was Pariah's character model. Also, they didn't have an actual model. The developers using a dummy, but it could have definitely changed over time. So Pariah could have an actual model now. So you can actually see Pariah's model kind of well. And it looks pretty cool. Kind of looks like a demon, and it looks a little robotic. So, okay, hold on. Let me put it so you can see it better. So So yeah, it looks pretty cool and looks a little like a demon and kind of robotic. Maybe they could be a simulacrum like Revenant. Guess we'll have to see when the character releases. So I looked up the meaning of the name Pariah, and its definition is an outcast. There was also a second definition that was not really good, and I did a little digging on that, and it's not a good word in like a certain context, but I'm not going to go over that in the video. So let's carry on. So kind of judging by the definition and the icon, Pariah does kind of look like someone who wouldn't quite fit in with the others and could be potentially made fun of, rejected, or hurt by others because of who they are. Maybe their lore consists of being bullied for who they are, which leads up to something not so good. Yeah. And they would end up dying, later coming back as a simulacrum. And after they come back to life as a simulacrum, they might have a vengeance for those who bullied them and seek out to hurt those people. That's my speculation for potential lore. I am actually really curious to see what this legend is like, so they look pretty cool. So now let's move on to the next legend, which is Gunzerker, who I'm positively the next support legend. So on the leaked character select screen right after Ash, there was a new addition named Gunzerker, who is a support legend who's known as a weapons enthusiast. Gunzerker at the time of the picture didn't have a character model, they had dummy models, so yeah. But they definitely could have a model now. So recently, as of the time the video releases, I think it was about a week or two ago, one of the developers mentioned that they would give Loba Lifeline's Blue Supply Bin passive and another support legend is added to the game, and they did mention it could happen in a couple or a few seasons. And I'm pretty sure that after a Recon Legend releases, which I'm positive the Recon Legend that would release next would be Pariah, they would release a support legend right after, and the most likely candidate would be Gunzerker, since they did say new support legend could come out soon. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure Gunzerker would probably come out in Season 10, but who really knows? So Gunzerker's character model again also has an icon, but it's not shown on the screen or whatever. So Gunzerker's ability is currently not known, but we do know that they're a weapons enthusiast and a support legend, so this could give us a good view of what their abilities could be. I have my own concept for Gunzerker, so let's have a look at it. And again, this is just a concept, it's not the actual abilities, which are yet to be known about. So passive, locked and loaded. Every weapon you pick up is automatically fully kitted with the highest level attachments, extended mags, barrels, change stocks, etc., except for a scope. Tactical, amped rounds. All weapons you have are amped and do 10% increased damage for 15 seconds. Ultimate, upgrade station. Place down a small upgrade station that teammates can use to put their weapons in so they can become fully kitted with high tier attachments except for a scope. So let me know what you think of the concept in the comments if you want to, and maybe you could give like your own little concept for what you think Gunzerker's abilities could be, whatever. So yeah. Now let's move on to Valk, the Soaring Aviator. So Valk was a legend that was leaked a long time ago in the game files and was originally thought to be the Season 7 legend because of this leaked dev sheet. So Season 3 we got Crypto, then Season 4 Revenant, Season 5 Loba, Season 6 Rampart, and Season 7 we thought we would get Valk, but we actually got Horizon Season 7. Yeah, that's pretty much when this sheet became unreliable, including the first character select screen that's above. So why Valk was not the Season 7 legend, you might be asking. So this is my speculation. So according to Water Gotham, who's another YouTuber who talks about Apex Legends news, Valk was created by the Vancouver Respawn studio and might not have actually been set to become the Season 7 legend. He also mentioned that she'll most likely come out around Season 11, which I'm pretty sure she would, I would assume. So Valk also seemed underdeveloped, judging by the leaked character select screens. That could have changed again since the pictures were taken a long time ago. Her icon also wasn't complete when that picture was taken, and it didn't have a background color, plus Valk didn't have her own animation or stance. She had the typical dummy stance, and yeah. So because of that, they didn't release Valk in Season 7 most likely. And Valk could have been originally set to become the Season 7 legend, but because of other stuff with inside development, they probably held off on releasing her to a later date. So now let's get into Valk's abilities. So she's an offensive legend who seems to be based on the North Star Titan in Titanfall 2. So passive, VTOL Jets. Hold jump to initiate VTOL Jets. Allows hovering in the air. Tactical cluster missile. Fire a rocket that explodes multiple times. Ultimate, Skyward. Press once to prepare for launch. Teammates can interact with Valk to join the launch. Press again to launch into the air and skydive. So as someone who was a Pheromane in Overwatch, Valk seems like a really cool legend to me. I think the ultimate will be sort of like a mobile redeploy that gets placed down and you and your teammates can use it for a quick escape round or rotation. And I think it'll also be really good for getting height, and I think it would be an excellent utility in ranked. So tactical is like identical to Fuse's tactical, which makes me think that it could have changed. And if it hasn't, I kind of wish it does, because it's kind of weird in my opinion to have two legends with with identical abilities. So if you don't really know what I'm talking about the cluster missile. So a cluster missile in Titanfall 2 is a missile that hits a surface, sticks to it, and explodes multiple times, and that's Fuse's tactical, except his tactical is a grenade, not a missile. So I think Valk should have a new tactical that is offensive based, but not like a missile. And I do have a little concept for that, and here it is. I have concept is a railgun. So use a railgun to fire a charged beam of energy accurately that has a quick travel time and creates a medium-sized explosion on impact. So I got the idea from North Star Titan Titanfall 2, because that Titan has a railgun, and Valk, since Valk's abilities are similar to North Star in terms of abilities, I think it would be a really neat idea. So the railgun doesn't have an explosive impact in Titanfall 2, but I wanted to think of something that would make it a little more interesting. And I also think if it were to come to the game, that it should have two charges, since I feel like you have to be good at tracking for it to be powerful. This ability, especially, how it could be really accurate and whatever. So here's Valk's character model that was leaked. She kind of looks like a K-pop star in my opinion. She looks really cool, to be honest. So yeah. Now let's move on to the last, and that's Hasaria the Hard Breacher. So Hasaria is a legend that has been leaked for a long time. She was leaked into game files, and she was on the leaked character selections, but we never got to see her model, and her icon is unfinished, as you could probably tell. So all we know about her are her abilities, and we know that she's an offensive legend. So she was most likely underdeveloped at the time of this picture and not the developer's main focus, but this could have changed over time, and she might have a finished icon and character model now, but we don't really know. So now let's go over her abilities. So abilities, her passive is called Shotgun Kick. So you have a shotgun in your leg that fires when you melee doors or enemies. Requires shotgun ammo. Using her abilities grants you a brief speed boost. Tactical Flashbang. Throw a grenade that briefly blinds and deafens opponents. Ultimate Concussive Breaching Charge. Plant a breaching charge that fires a sonic wave through walls to destroy traps, force open doors, and disorient enemies. Now, I feel like the passive shouldn't require shotgun ammo, so I hope that's changed, or I hope it changes. It's just like Rampart's turret before it was released, except Rampart's turret required heavy ammo. I don't feel like an ability should require any ammo type, and it's just kind of stupid in my opinion. The tactical seems pretty decent, and it seems like it would be annoying to deal with. I'm really interested to see how that plays out in the game. The ultimate seems pretty cool, because I think it would be a really good ultimate. Kind of similar to Crypto's EMP. I think that would be really interesting. We'll have to see how Hasaria plays out whenever she comes. She seems really fun. I'd definitely be down to try her out when she comes into the game. So that is going to be all. So thank you for watching the video. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a like. If you are new here, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Click the bell icon to get notified for whenever I upload a video. Be sure to join the Discord server as well. I'll put that link to that in the description and or in a pinned comment. And also, be sure to follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/3LNEX. I'll leave it right here. And I will put that in the description and or in a pinned comment again. And also here are my sources for this video. So again, thanks for watching the video, and I will see you all later. Bye.